Hey guys, thanks for joining me. You're looking at a beautiful Zenith AM/FM receiver. I think this dates back to about 1960, early 1960s. It's a model K731. This comes to me from one of my great loyal subscribers, Bob. Asked me if I'd take a look at it. There's a problem here with the tone control. Here's some noise there. I'm not sure if we've got just a cold solder joint itself or if we've got a defective pod or if it can be cleaned, but more to come on that in a bit. And you can see he's also sent me the speaker cloth here to replace the speaker cloth here that's got just a few burns on it. So we'll take care of that as well. Anyway, real quick, this little project here is still continues. I've got some prototypes built and more to come on that in an upcoming video. You can see I've even got speaker grill cloth now installed here. But we'll disclose more about the what I call the mystery project, or refer to it as a radio in a tube. And just to let you know, it's not a radio in a tube, but more to come on that soon. Let's get back here to Bob's radio and go ahead and take this thing apart and get the chassis out and see what it's going to take here to get the new grill cloth placed, and maybe take a quick preliminary look at the tone control itself and see if we can figure out what's causing this noise. Hope you guys will be able to join me. You can see I have the radio turned around. Looks like I have about 7 fasteners here in total that hold the back of the radio here in place. So let me go ahead and get those removed offline, and we'll take a look inside the cabinet at the chassis. With those 7 fasteners removed now, you can see I have access here to the inside of the chassis, and I've got 2 wires here for the loop antenna. They appear to be hardwired in place. I don't see any connectors in place here where I can actually take those loose. So I'll grab the soldering iron here and get these desoldered after I document the color coding here for future reference. And same here for the external connections here. I think one appears to be a ground location, and this is probably an external FM antenna location. Now if you look at the picture-in-picture as well, it looks like I'm going to have the same issue here for the speaker itself. Very short leads that go over to the output transformer, so we'll take a look at that after I get these removed and documented. You can see here a little solder wick here, and getting all the solder off. Tons of solder here on these connection points. I'll clean them up a little bit better, but for now this is released. I'll set it aside, and let me go ahead and get the knobs off the front of the receiver and take a look at this speaker just a little bit closer here. After taking a closer look here at the speaker leads, it looks like I can actually just pull these connections off here. I've tried to do so. They're extremely tight. I don't want to take any chances of breaking this bakelite material here for the speaker itself and create a bigger issue. I may be able to put a small screwdriver down here and expand these slotted areas just a bit and cause these connections here just to loosen up, but they're both extremely tight. We'll come back to that here in just a moment. Let me go ahead and move along to the front, get the knobs off, and then take a look at the chassis from underneath and get those fasteners removed as well. So Bob, if you're watching, these knobs are almost like they were super glued on. I had a heck of a time trying to get those off, and using the old glove trick here that I've demonstrated before. But I'm going to pull like heck on this one again, and this thing is really on there, and hopefully nothing breaks. So we'll see what happens here. Well, I finally got it to release, but I don't think I've ever had a knob on that tight. I was finally able to get in here and get these speaker connections removed, holding on to the terminal down here and then spreading out the connection point here just a bit with the small screwdriver. So I think I'm successful there. Looks like I've got this piece that needs to be removed as well. And we'll see what else needs to be taken loose here from the front plane before I remove the chassis screws underneath. Alright, had 4 of these fasteners here on the bottom to keep the chassis itself attached in the cabinet. Let me go ahead and pull this out now. I think I've got everything loose. And there we have it. Good looking chassis. Looks like it's got the original Zenith tubes in here as well. Radio plays great. As Bob mentioned, this is not a restore or anything at this point in time. It's just merely a grill cloth replacement. And look at that tone control. See if it can be cleaned up, or will it need replacement over here. And then I'll take a look at a few other things and make some recommendations if I see something along the way. Let me get the chassis over here off to the side and continue to look at this cabinet here. See what it's going to take here to get to the grill cloth area itself. My apologies here for the lighting. It appears that these glue blocks here, which attach to the back plane of wood, are screwed into the side of the cabinet. So there's numerous screws here that I'll go ahead and remove from the cabinet. And then there's another layer of screws itself that look to attach to the escutcheon itself, which may have to be removed also. The speaker itself is probably fine, and I can probably leave it in place. We'll look at that once I get these other fasteners out and see if I can remove this first layer of wood here and actually get to the second layer, which should hold the grill cloth itself. I've got all the screws here removed, best I can tell, from the glue blocks that attach here to this back plane, and it does appear that the other fasteners here, looks like I have 6 left, that attach to the escutcheon itself will need to be removed to get this piece here to release, unless it's just wedged in there. I'm going to take one more look and then go ahead and loosen these up and just see if I get the movement I'm looking for. We'll go from there. I tell you, I am taking time here to go ahead and remove the speaker. Just 4 nuts here holding the speaker itself here back to the back plane. But I'll show you something interesting about the grill cloth. And I haven't researched this. There may still be a way to get this piece out, but looks like I might have to work with what I've got. Let me flip this cabinet over and I'll show you guys what I'm looking at. Alright, taking a closer look at this, even though I can push this back, I think I can actually push or apply pressure on this top side and get this thing to release itself. So let's see what happens here. I'm going to keep my hands out of the way. Okay, there we have it. Now I should be able to flip this thing around and actually remove this front backer material here from the cabinet itself. Alright, it's great to go ahead and get this grill cloth out here with this backer piece. So should make it a lot simpler and easier to make sure that I get the orientation correct here on the grill cloth that Bob provided, and make sure I get it nice and tight over the cutout area here for the nice speaker that's in place. So folks, we'll pick up in another video and get this grill cloth off and take a look at the grill cloth that Bob provided, get that installed, get the cabinet back together, and then we'll start taking a look at the problem with the tone control in the upcoming video as well. I appreciate you guys following along. Take care.